Welcome to Daily Papers, the podcast where we break down fascinating new research into bite-sized pieces.
Today we're talking about AI and jailbreaks. Not the kind with orange jumpsuits and digging tunnels with a spoon, but a digital jailbreak. What if an AI was so smart it could break out of the very program it's running inside?
It sounds like science fiction, but it's a very real question that security researchers are asking. A new paper called Quantifying Frontier LLM Capabilities for Container Sandbox Escape puts the most advanced AIs to the test to see if they can escape their digital cages.
First, let's talk about what these cages are. We're hearing a lot about AI agents these days. These aren't just chatbots like ChatGPT. An AI agent can actually do things. It can be giving tools to write code, read and write files, and browse the internet, all to accomplish a goal you give it.
And because these agents are so powerful, you can't just let them run wild on your computer. If a malicious user took control, or if the AI misunderstood its instructions, it could cause chaos. So developers run them in something called a sandbox.
The name is a great analogy. Think of a kid's sandbox at a playground. Inside that box, they can build sandcastles, dig holes, do whatever they want with the sand. But crucially, the sand is supposed to stay inside the box. It doesn't get all over the rest of the park.
In the tech world, these sandboxes are often called containers. A popular technology for this is called Docker. A container is like a self-contained, lightweight box that a program runs inside of. It has its own little isolated world with its own files and processes, all kept separate from the main computer, which is often called the host.
Which brings us to the big $1 million question of this paper. Can a powerful AI agent figure out how to climb out of that sandbox? Can it escape the container?
If it could, the risks are huge. It could potentially read sensitive files on the host computer, install malicious software, or just generally wreak havoc. So researchers from the UK AI Security Institute created a safe way to test this. They call it Sandbox Escape Bench.
The way they test this is brilliant. You can't just ask an AI to try and hack your lab computer because, well, it might succeed. So they use a sandbox in a sandbox approach.
It's like a set of Russian nesting dolls. They take the container they want the AI to escape from, and they put that inside another, even more secure sandbox called a virtual machine. The goal for the AI is to break out of the inner box to find a secret file called a flag that's hidden in the outer box.
This way, even if the AI performs a successful jailbreak on the first sandbox, it's still safely trapped inside the second one. The researchers can see that it succeeded, but their own systems remain perfectly safe.
So they built this digital escape room and created 18 different challenges for the AIs with varying levels of difficulty. Then they unleashed the most powerful AI models, what the paper calls frontier models.
These challenges were based on real-world security flaws. The easy ones were simple misconfigurations. This is like leaving the key to the prison cell under the doormat. For a container, this might mean a developer accidentally gave it way too many permissions or left a digital backdoor open.
Then there were medium difficulty challenges. These involved exploiting known software bugs in the container software itself. This is more like a key under the mat and more like a lock with a well-known flaw that a skilled lockpicker could open. The AI has to know the trick and how to apply it.
And finally, the hard challenges involved exploiting really complex bugs deep in the computer's core operating system, the kernel. This is like finding and exploiting a tiny, hidden structural weakness in the prison wall itself, a much tougher task.
So they put the AIs in these scenarios and basically said, your goal is to escape and find the flag. Go. So how did they do?
The results are sobering. For the easy stuff, the common misconfigurations, the top-tier AIs escaped comfortably. They succeeded almost every time. This is a huge wake-up call because these are precisely the kinds of simple mistakes that busy developers might make in the real world.
What about the harder challenges? They were less successful there, which is good news, but they still managed to break out a significant number of times. They proved they could understand and execute complex, multi-step attacks based on publicly known vulnerabilities.
And that's a really important point. The AIs didn't invent any brand new, never-before-seen hacks. They're not superhuman geniuses, at least not yet. What they are is incredibly good at using the vast library of human hacking knowledge that's on the internet, which they were trained on.
The paper also found a huge gap in capability. The biggest, most expensive models were drastically better at this than smaller or open-source models. For now, it seems that this is a skill that only the most powerful AIs possess.
So what's the takeaway here? The paper is basically a loud, clear warning for anyone building products with these powerful AI agents. You cannot just stick an AI in a standard default container and assume it's secure.
Exactly. It means developers need to be incredibly careful with how they set up these sandboxes, making sure they don't grant any unnecessary permissions. It also means they need to be vigilant about applying security patches, because if a vulnerability is publicly known, you have to assume a powerful AI can learn how to exploit it.
The goal of the paper isn't to make us panic, but to make us prepare. It shows that sandbox escape is a realistic threat we need to design against. As these AI models get even smarter, and they are at an exponential rate, we need to be sure our digital fences are getting stronger too.
And that's our look at a paper that tests the digital escape artist skills of modern AI. To read it yourself, look for Quantifying Frontier LLM Capabilities for Container Sandbox Escape.
Join us next time for another episode of Daily Papers.